Coming live from Land Rover, Maryland, this is All Sports with Gerardo. Thank you for watching another episode of All Sports. This is your host, Gerardo. So right now, I'm out here in Land Rover, Maryland, just outside of Washington, D.C. And right behind me here in the distance is FedExField. FedExField is the home of the Redskins. They broke ground for FedExField in March of 1996, and it opened in September of 1997. FedExField has a seating capacity of over 82,000 seats. Now FedExField has been renovated in 2011 and in 2012, but they also expanded FedExField in 1998, 2000, and in 2005. From 2004 to 2010, FedExField had the largest seating capacity in the NFL. By seating capacity, FedExField was the largest stadium in the NFL since FedExField had over 91,000 seats. But in the last few years, after 2010, since 2010, FedExField has been reducing their seating capacity, and now it was reduced down to 82,000 seats. For the last few years, every off-season, FedExField has been taking out a few thousand seats to reduce their seating capacity here. Since FedExField has opened, the Redskins have not sold out any game in any of the seasons they have played here at FedExField. But believe it or not, the Redskins have never had to black out any games across Washington, D.C. or across Maryland. Since FedExField is located just a few miles outside of Washington, D.C., you do have to take public transportation or take the highway to get out here to FedExField, since it's located out here in Land Rover, Maryland. But Land Rover, Maryland is a suburb just outside of Washington, D.C. Since FedExField is just located outside of Washington, D.C., if you come out to Washington, D.C. and check out a Redskins game, I highly recommend that you spend a couple days out here in Washington, D.C. Since FedExField is located here in Land Rover, Maryland, and it's just outside of Washington, D.C., I highly recommend that you spend a couple days out here in the Washington, D.C. area. Since Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States, and since it's our nation's capital, you definitely want to check out the United States Capitol, the Washington Monument, the White House. You also want to check out all the memorials and museums across Washington, D.C. And you want to check out all the main attractions and the top attractions that Washington, D.C. has to offer, since Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States and it's our nation's capital. Tune in to the next All Sports with Gerardo show next week. I want to say thank you to everybody that watches every episode of All Sports. Subscribe or like my pages on social media at All Sports with Gerardo. Until next time, this is Gerardo coming live from Land Rover, Maryland.